Part 275. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2741. Chapter 2741. This generation of fans seems to have too much control. There is Chinhan. The program team is so awesome that they can invite Chinhan. I thought Chinhan would not participate in these variety shows. Wow, many of the guests invited in this issue are my favorites. The lineup is very attractive. Ha ha ha, we can see the lively siblings Xiao Mian and Zhan Bo making fun again in the show. I'm so happy to see Xieheng. I really like brother Xieheng. Wow, the guests invited in this issue are all great. I like them all. I feel like this issue will definitely be super good. I'm looking forward to it. After the official blog of my intern parents announced the recording guests for the next episode, the invited guests retweeted it on Weibo. Chinhan, it's my first time recording a variety show, so I'm a little nervous. I hope I won't disappoint everyone. Zanbo, I have only one request for this program. I hope that the internship baby assigned to me will not be too difficult to take care of. Xieheng, I am honored to be invited as a guest on the next episode of my intern parents. Su Minor, darlings, be sure to stay tuned for the next issue of my intern parents. Zhizzy, hey, I'm so happy to be able to record this program with so many seniors. Xiao Mian also forwarded, I'm a little looking forward to it but a little scared. I hope I can be a qualified intern mother by then. After she retweeted it on Weibo, fans ridiculed her in her comment area. The baby of the Xiao family, ha ha ha. Mian Bao, are you afraid that you won't be able to take care of the child? Mian Bao's little wife, after Mian Bao finishes participating in this program, he will have experience in raising children. After returning home, he can consider making a baby with Mr. Mo. Standing Mo Xiao CP will remain unchanged for 100 years. Why did Mian Bao suddenly participate in this show? Are you really planning to make a baby with Mr. Mo? Mian Bao and Mr. Mo are both so good looking, you must make more babies, otherwise your excellent genes will be wasted. In the comment area, there were people clamoring for Xiao Mian and Mo Yesi to have more babies. What's more, Xiao Mian was allowed to live until menopause. Xiao Mian, who was inexplicably inspired by her fans. This year's fans are probably taking too much care. He is in charge of heaven and earth, and now he is also in charge of her giving birth to children. What's even more outrageous is that she was asked to give birth to 10 or 8 children. Xiao Mian didn't know that her fans not only created her in the comment area of her Weibo, but also left messages in the comment area of Mo Yesi's Weibo. A lot of fans at Mo Yesi's Weibo account, asking him when he plans to have a baby with Xiao Mian, how many babies he plans to have, and so on. After Xiao Mian found out that her fans actually went to Mo Yesi to induce pregnancy, she complained to Mo Yesi about this matter in an angry and funny manner. Originally she thought Mo Yesi was going to complain with her. Unexpectedly, after hearing what she complained about, the man actually curled up his lips and said with a smile, "Your fan's suggestion is also correct. When a couple's genes are very good, they should have more children so as not to waste them." Gene. Xiao Mian couldn't believe her ears. Mo Yesi, you actually agree with what they said? You don't really want me to give you more children, do you? That's not true. Mo Yesi had just finished processing the documents in his hand. He dropped his pen, stood up, slowly walked to Xiao Mian and sat down. He stretched out his hand and gently pulled her into his arms. I can't bear to let you suffer a few more births. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2742. Chapter 2742, Zhang Luli can have 2 more children. Then you still say their proposal is right. Well, their proposal is indeed correct. Just because I agree, it doesn't mean that I will do it. Mo Yesi chuckled and pinched her face lovingly. Baby, we only need one baby. When you give birth to the baby, I will perform a sterilization. Xiao Mian was stunned and raised her head in surprise. Are you going to get a sterilization? Although there are many men who undergo sterilization. But after all, they are still a minority. Moreover, Mo Yesi took the initiative to propose it, so Xiao Mian was quite surprised. It's not that he can't have a vasectomy. Only. Had he not brought it up, Xiao Mian would never have thought of letting him go. And as far as she knows, most men are actually unwilling to undergo sterilization surgery. Even though this actually has no effect on a man's fertility. Because it can be reoperated later to return to normal. Mo Yesi's face looked as usual, and it was obvious that this decision was not something he came up with on the spur of the moment. Why? Xiao Mian couldn't help but ask. If you don't want to have more babies, sterilization is not the only method of contraception. He doesn't have to be like this. Mo Yesi looked down at her with gentle eyes. I said, we only need one baby. If I go for a sterilization, I can ensure that no more accidents will happen. Baby, I know that pregnancy is very hard. I can't help you share the hardship. What I can do is not let you suffer the same pain again. Xiao Mian was a little touched. What if I still want to have another baby? No way either. The man's tone was very domineering. One child is enough. Too many children at home will be noisy, and if we have two children, we will definitely favor one of them, which will hurt the other child. So the child must just one is enough. Too many can cause headaches. If you like your home to be more lively, you can let Zhongluli have two more children. From now on, just let her bring her children to visit our home more often. Xiao Mian. Fortunately, Zhongluli didn't hear these words. Otherwise, the boat of friendship may capsize quickly. Asterisk. The day of the official recording of my intern parents arrived. Xiao Mian got up early and packed herself up so that the photographer would not capture her with disheveled hair and unwashed hair and face. Mo Yesi also got up after her. As soon as the two of them packed up and went downstairs to have breakfast, the housekeeper came to tell them that the photography team had arrived. So soon, Xiao Mian looked at the time, thought for a moment, and then said to the housekeeper, they must not have had breakfast yet. You can ask the kitchen to prepare more breakfast. Yes, madam. Then I will go and get the kitchen ready. The butler turned and left for the kitchen. Xiao Mian stood in the living room waiting for the camera crew. Mo Yesi was with him. After waiting for a few minutes, the two of them saw the maid leading the camera crew into the hall. Because this time it was around the clock live broadcast, when the camera crew came to find her, the live broadcast room on Weibo was already open. Although it is still very early, not yet 7 o'clock in the morning, there are already many early risers squatting in the live broadcast room. Then the group of people watched the camera crew's car drive into a super luxurious villa. The villa is very big and beautiful. Just the two beautiful pine trees built at the entrance have already been popularized by netizens. They say that one tree costs several million. How many millions does a tree cost? What kind of tree is this? Is it inlaid with gold? End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2743. Chapter 2743, This man has too strong aura. How many millions does a tree cost? What kind of tree is this? Is it inlaid with gold? I just went to BD. This kind of tree is really expensive. It costs millions. I wonder if the Mo family is not the richest man in country. Xiao Mian is still married to the president of the Mo family. Of course, millions of ornamental trees are sky-high prices for ordinary people, but for rich people of their level, it is also it's nothing. Yes, yes, people's assets are tens of billions and hundreds of billions, and a few $1 million is really nothing to them. It is said that Mo Yesi gave Chiao Mian a gift, which can easily cost tens of millions. He spent a few million to buy 2 trees, which is similar to the way we ordinary people spend hundreds of dollars. These 2 trees are indeed nothing. Have you seen the paintings hanging in the hall? If they were genuine, those paintings would cost hundreds of millions. Tisk, 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 the world of rich people is really that of ordinary people like us. Unimaginable. 2 trees cost millions, a few paintings cost hundreds of millions. Isn't it a waste to spend so much money on trees and paintings? It would be great to have more money to support children in mountainous areas. How many children in mountainous areas still have food to eat? Not full yet. Don't be morally kidnapped upstairs. Why do you have to support children in mountainous areas if you have money? No matter how rich people are, they earn it by their own abilities. If they don't steal or rob, they can spend their money however they want. You have to think that in mountainous areas the children are pitiful, please help them a little more. That's right, if you are still here checking Weibo or watching live broadcasts, sell your phone and donate money. The money you make from selling your phone can feed your children. It's 6:30 in the morning. The live broadcast room was unexpectedly lively. After Chiao Mian washed up, she went downstairs to eat. The people from the program team had already arrived before she had breakfast. She didn't have much time to look at her phone, so she didn't know that the live broadcast room was already there because of the 2 trees in front of her house and the pictures in the hall. The paintings started to quarrel. At this time, Chiao Mian is still greeting the people from the program team. In the hall, the photographers, lighting engineers, and staff who were conducting live broadcasts with mobile phones all seemed a little embarrassed. There was no other reason than that they felt oppressed by Mo Yesi's too strong aura. Even though the man is wearing very casual home clothes, he looks much more approachable than he usually wears formal clothes, but the majesty and aura that he has accumulated and emanated from those who have been in power for a long time are naturally revealed in his movements. Out. Even if he behaves gently enough, people will still feel oppressed and nervous in front of him. Even though Mo Yesi is not their boss. But everyone felt that the dignified and handsome man in front of them was even more intimidating than their boss. At least they can relax in front of their bosses. But they couldn't relax in front of President Mo. Everyone hasn't had breakfast yet. It's really hard to come here so early. I asked the kitchen to prepare breakfast for you. Go and eat first. Chiao Mian saw the discomfort and nervousness of the crew and stepped forward to block it. In front of Mo Yesi. Mo Yesi, this man, has too strong aura. Chiao Mian has never seen anyone who can get along with him in a normal manner in front of him. She was quite nervous when she met him for the first time. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2744. Chapter 2744. Not among the ordinary people. Even Xiao Chen was a little afraid of him as his brother-in-law at first, but it was only after they got along for a longer time that he really treated him as his brother-in-law. No need. You and Mr. Mo can go eat. Don't worry about us. We can just eat whatever we want in the car later. The staff member who was in charge of filming Chiao Mian waved his hand in embarrassment. How can that be done? Chiao Mian immediately called the maid over. The kitchen has been prepared for you. If you don't eat, it will be a waste. It's just a breakfast. Don't be polite. You can only eat when you are full. Work hard. This. The person in charge hesitated, but they still have to shoot. You have to film me, right? You can fix the camera and point it at me. Chiao Mian walked up to a staff member who was pointing a cell phone at her, made a greeting gesture to the camera, and said with a smile, "Is this a live broadcast?" "Hi, Is there anyone in the live broadcast room now? Good morning everyone. I am Chiao Mian Mian. I am going to have breakfast now. Has everyone eaten? When Chiao Mian Mian just said hello, she was very close to the camera. Her face, enlarged several times, immediately appeared in the live broadcast room. She went downstairs directly after washing herself. She had not applied skincare or put on makeup, so she was in a barefaced state at this time. Not only is it purely barefaced, but because the live broadcast room has not turned on beautification, it is still live broadcast with the original camera. Purely without makeup and original camera. This is something that not many girls dare to challenge. Even those female celebrities who usually boast that their skin is in good condition and their looks are good, basically no one will live broadcast with pure makeup and original camera. Not to mention, Chiao Mian Mian was so angry just now that the camera was so close. At that distance, even the pores on the face can be seen clearly. If there are any flaws on the face, they can definitely be seen clearly. But at that moment, the netizens in the live broadcast room didn't even see any blemishes on Chiao Mian Mian's face, they didn't even see a pore. What they saw was a small face that was as white as white jade. The skin on the girl's face was soft and white, could be broken by a blow, and was as delicate as a shelled egg. Because my skin is extremely white, any blemishes on my face will be very obvious. No matter how good the skin of an average person is, you can't see anything from a distance, but if you look closer, there will be some blemishes on your face. But Chiao Mian Mian is not among the ranks of ordinary people. Someone took a screenshot of the shot just now and enlarged it several times, but they couldn't find a single flaw on her face. Damn it, Chiao Mian Mian's skin is too good in this barefaced state, she can beat any female artist in the entertainment industry. Oh my god, does such good skin really exist? Didn't you turn on the beauty function in the live broadcast room? Is her skin the same as it was under the original camera? Let me tell you, Chiao Mian Mian has the best skin without makeup among all the female artists in the entertainment industry. No one can refute. U1S1, without makeup, is really good at it in my opinion, no female artist can compare with her. The live broadcast room was filled with voices of praise and envy. But there are also quite a few sour lemons. Ha ha ha, what's so surprising about this? If I can marry such a rich husband like her and be a rich lady at home every day, I can also take care of myself like an 18-year-old girl. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2745. Chapter 2745. This distance, I am dead. Don't be sour, I'm a long-time fan of Chiao Mian Mian. She was in this state when she first debuted. She is naturally beautiful, and it doesn't matter whether she marries a rich man or not. There are many rich female celebrities. I don't lack money for skincare, but can everyone have such good skin? Yes, I have been following Chiao Mian Mian for a long time. You can search her Weibo a few years ago. There are photos of her without makeup. Her skin was so good at that time. We must admit that some people are she is naturally beautiful, and with good genes, she doesn't need any maintenance at all. There's really nothing sour about this. Chiao Mian Mian is famous for her good skin. My friend has done makeup on her and said that Chiao Mian Mian has the best skin without makeup among all the female artists she has done makeup on. Chiao Mian Mian didn't know that just after she said hello casually, the netizens in the live broadcast room started arguing again. She said to the staff member who was pointing her mobile phone at her live broadcast, "Give me the mobile phone. I can live broadcast it myself." The staff was stunned for a moment, then nodded, "Of course. Well, then you go to have breakfast with them. Give me your mobile phone and I will broadcast live." The staff member hesitated. "No problem, I know how to live broadcast." Chiao Mian Mian smiled and took the phone from her hand. She saw that people were commenting in the comment area of the live broadcast room, So she took a closer look. This closeness is also an extremely close distance. What the netizens in the live broadcast room saw was a face that was breathtakingly beautiful, especially Chiao Mianmian's extremely beautiful eyes, which were black and bright, and her eyes were always moist. At this moment, everyone watching the live broadcast had the illusion that they were being watched intently by her. Female netizens are okay. Some male netizens' hearts beat faster and their faces turned red. There are many male fans of Chiao Mianmian. She looks innocent and sweet. When she first debuted, a company she signed wanted her to be the goddess of first love. If it weren't for Chiao Angzhen's interference later, she might really be debuted as the goddess of first love. Her appearance is inherently attractive to the opposite sex. Holy shit, Mianbao, don't get so close to me, all of a sudden my little heart can't bear it. This distance, I'm dead. Mianbao, how can you be so good looking? I don't care, I will be your lifelong fan. Mianbao, tell me honestly, do you deliberately avoid beauty treatments because of your good skin? Mianbao, please tell us, how do you usually take care of your skin? Chiao Mianmian looked at the comments posted in the live broadcast room. She walked towards Mo Yesi with her mobile phone and said with a smile, my skincare secrets are very simple. I usually like to sleep in. As long as it's not during work, I can get enough sleep for 15 hours at a time. Also, drink more water and eat more fruits, of course. Try not to stay up late and maintain the good habit of going to bed early and getting up early. As she spoke, she had already walked to Mo Yesi's side. Since she was holding her cell phone and broadcasting the live broadcast to herself, when she walked next to Mo Yesi, she also took a picture of Mo Yesi. When Mo Yesi appeared in the live broadcast room was surprisingly quiet for a few seconds, and the netizens seemed to have suddenly disappeared. No one commented in these few seconds. End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2746. Chapter 2746. Good morning everyone, I am Mo Yesi. A few seconds later, it was like a huge stone was thrown into the calm lake. The live broadcast room that had just been empty of comments suddenly exploded. Is this what Mr. Mo usually looks like at home? The grey housecoat he is wearing looks so good, isn't it? It's not that the clothes are good looking, it's that the clothes he wears look so good. Mr. Mo looks so at home like this. Thanks to Mianbao, I can actually see Mr. Mo's handsome face so close. Mr. Mo's appearance is so incredible. The beautiful couple. Mianbao, can Mr. Mo say hello to everyone? Chiao Mianmian glanced at the very restless live broadcast room, then turned to Mo Yesi and said, I'm live broadcasting right now, and the netizens want you to say hello to them. Do you want to say hello to everyone? Chiao Mianmian knew that Mo Yesi didn't like exposure. No matter what the way. But now that Mo Yesi is with her and she is live broadcasting, it is impossible not to take a picture of him. And she also told Mo Yesi beforehand that there would be two ways to record the program this time. One is to shoot in the early stage and edit it in the later stage for broadcast on the TV station. One is to broadcast live on Weibo around the clock. She had just allowed him to be in the camera after asking for Mo Yesi's permission and his willingness to have people come to her home for filming and live broadcasting. But although Mo Yesi agreed to be in the camera, Chiao Mianmian was still not sure whether he was willing to interact with netizens. So she asked a little nervously. Fortunately, the man gave her enough face. Even though she didn't like this kind of interaction, she still turned her head and looked at the mobile phone camera, and then said hello to the netizens in the live broadcast room expressionlessly. Good morning everyone, I'm Mo Yesi. A simple greeting made a group of female netizens in the live broadcast room excited. Wow, Mr. Mo's voice sounds great. Yes, yes, this voice is so magnetic and sultry. Girls, have you ever noticed that Mr. Mo's eyes were very loving and gentle when he looked at Mayanbeo, but when he first greeted us, he looked so cold. Ha ha ha, Mr. Mo seems to be reluctant to greet us. I think if Mayanbeo hadn't asked him to greet us, he would have ignored us at all. But it also reflects from the side that Mr. Mo really dotes on Mayanbeo. I'm so sad, I really want to have a boyfriend like Mr. Mo. After Mo Yesi said hello as if he had completed his task, he immediately withdrew his gaze, not interested in the discussion among netizens in the live broadcast room. He turned his head to look at Xiao Mian beside him, and naturally put one hand around her waist. Took her to the dining room, go have breakfast first, and stop playing with your phone. The man's tone was very gentle and doting. The tone of his conversation with Xiao Mian was heard in the live broadcast room, and there were a lot of people shouting about dog abuse, envy, jealousy, and hatred. I'm not playing with my phone, I'm working, Xiao Mian explained to him seriously, I'm live broadcasting, so I have to hold my phone. The live broadcast doesn't require you to hold your phone all the time. How can you eat for a while like this? After Mo Yesi finished speaking, he called a maid over and asked Xiao Mian to give the phone to the maid, as long as I can take a picture of you, right? You give her your phone and let her take a picture of you. Mo Yesi didn't care whether Xiao Mian agreed or not. After taking the phone away, he gave it directly to the maid. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2747. Chapter 2747. Can you pack the leftovers for me? Mo Yesi didn't care whether Xiao Mian agreed or not. After taking the phone away, he gave it directly to the maid. Xiao Mian. Okay, anyway, there is no rule that she has to live broadcast on her mobile phone. The same goes for letting others take pictures of her. Xiao Mian walked over, exchanged a few words with the maid, and then followed Mo Yesi hand in hand to the dining room. The place where the crew dines is in another dining room. So there are only Mo Yesi and Xiao Mian in this dining room. A sumptuous breakfast has already been placed on the table. There are Western food and Chinese food. This is because Xiao Mian and Mo Yesi have different tastes and habits. Mo Yesi has been accustomed to eating Western food after going abroad for many years, but Xiao Mian is not very used to eating Western food. For her, eating it in the morning, it is best to order soy milk, fried dough sticks and eggs. So the Chinese food is an extra portion made according to her taste. Of course, in addition to these, there are also pastries and fruits that she likes. These are things Mo Yesi doesn't like to eat. Before he was with Xiao Mian, Mo Yesi never had these things on his dining table. The maid took her mobile phone and followed them into the dining room. When the rich food on the table was photographed, everyone in the live broadcast room swallowed silently. OMG, isn't this breakfast too tempting? There were only 2 of them, but they actually set up a full table. Can you finish eating this? That steak must have been freshly fried. The meat quality looks particularly good, so tender and delicious. There are also those exquisite side dishes and the steaming bowl of seafood porridge, which also look good. There are also plates of cakes, cookies, juice, milk, and so many fruits. Everything looks delicious. The most important thing is that such a big table can only be eaten by 2 people. This is a bit too luxurious. Wow, is this what rich people eat in the morning? So much for 2 people, can they finish it? I definitely can't finish it. I don't mind eating leftovers. Can you pack the leftovers for me? I don't mind eating leftovers either, woohoo, I'm attracted to that steak, I really want to take a bite, it must taste really good. Then I'll give you the steak. I prefer those dishes, and seafood porridge. I just like to drink some porridge and eat some vegetables in the morning. Am I the only one who thinks this is too extravagant and wasteful? Do two people need to cook so much? Can they finish it? If they can't finish it, do they have to throw it away? When I think of so many children in mountainous areas talking, I feel so distressed when I can't even get enough to eat, and I hate this wasteful behavior. Attention everyone, another moral has appeared. I really hate this kind of person who always likes to kidnap morals. If you think the children in the mountainous areas are pitiful, why don't you come and kidnap others? That's right, if you care so much about children in mountainous areas, why don't you become a volunteer teacher? The comment section started quarreling again because of this sumptuous breakfast. Of course, these things are invisible to Mian. At this time, the number of people in the live broadcast room has reached more than 3 million. Asterisk. Someone on the program team was paying attention to the data in the live broadcast room. Originally, everyone thought that many people in the early morning were either sleeping in or busy getting up and going to the company. There were not many people who had free time to watch the live broadcast. So the program team initially estimated that not many people would watch the live broadcast during this time in the morning. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2748. Chapter 2748. Are you telling me that you want to change people now? I didn't expect that. It has only been live broadcast for less than an hour, and there are already more than 3 million viewers in the live broadcast room. This data can be said to be quite surprising to them. In the previous two periods, there have been live broadcasts of all weather. The invited guests are also big celebrities, but the data of the same time period are not so good. Mian's data for the same period was almost twice as high as others. When the program team saw the number of viewers in the live broadcast room, they were all surprised. After being surprised, they all began to feel lucky that Mian was invited for this episode. The live broadcast has just started and the traffic is so good. It seems that it will increase their click-through rate for this episode. After all, when they were preparing to invite Mian, they had another candidate, and they almost abandoned Mian and chose another female artist. I didn't expect Mian to be so popular. This live broadcast data is too good. I just checked. The number of viewers in Zanbo's live broadcast room is only over 2 million, which is a full 1 million more than her. 10,000. This data is indeed very good. Zanbo's traffic is so good, but it is so much less than hers. This is really unexpected. Each invited guest has a live broadcast room. And they are all live broadcasts at about the same time. The number of people in the live broadcast room of the two newly popular female artists was only 450,000. Originally, Zanbo's more than 2 million viewers were already very good data, but what surprised the program team was that Mian's data was it will exceed Zanbo. And it does not exceed tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. It was more than 1 million viewers. This gap is a bit big. Zanbo is well known for his top traffic, and the program team originally predicted that his live broadcast room would be the most popular. As a result, Mian is now the most popular one. The program team analyzed the reasons, and everyone agreed that it was probably because Mian's live broadcast room was more attractive. Not to mention anything else, just her rich and handsome husband. It can attract a lot of female netizens. And most people are very curious about the life of a wealthy family. Normally, they have no other way to learn about it. Now they can see through live broadcast what kind of life the wealthy people live. Of course they want to see it. But no matter what the reason is, Mian can drive such high traffic, which is definitely a good thing for this program. The director of the program team couldn't stop smiling as he watched the number of viewers in Mian's live broadcast room increasing. He was about to make a call to the staff below to ask them to focus on filming Chiao Mian later, when the cell phone on the table suddenly rang. He looked at it and saw that it was the producer of the program, so he immediately picked up the call. A few words were said over there, and after a minute, the director couldn't help but frown, and replied to the person on the other end of the phone with a very dissatisfied tone, "Temporary substitution? The guests for this issue have already been decided, and it's live broadcast now. You're telling me to change people now? Old Chen, aren't you trying to make things difficult for me?" Not knowing what the people over there said, the director frowned even more. "If you had told me this a few days earlier, it wouldn't have been difficult. But now that we are talking about the replacement, isn't it too obvious?" End of this chapter. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2749. Chapter 2749. What, an unknown newcomer? Okay, I understand. The management is my father. I know you have no choice. Then you can only replace Su Minor or Zhizi. Su Minor also paid for it. It's hard to replace her, so just replace her. Drops Zhizi. Which female artist do you want to replace over there? What, a newcomer with no reputation? This replacement must at least give me a similar level. What's the point of replacing a newcomer with no works? Our program has always been the invited guests are all big-name celebrities, no matter how bad they are, they must be second tier. Forget it, I'll help you solve it this time. But if something like this happens again next time, don't come to me, I won't help you anymore. Our show is not short of investors now, okay? I don't want the reputation of being easy to do to be ruined because of one or two people. But although I can help you solve it this time, the ugly words are ahead. It doesn't matter if the newcomer performs well, but if she alone affects the effect of the show, I don't care who the financial backer is behind her. It's time to replace someone. After a moment, the director hung up the phone with a dissatisfied look on his face. He couldn't help but complain to himself, "What kind of plane are you doing? Come and tell me that you need to change people at this time. These connections are getting more and more shameless now. Humph, I don't care whose lover she is. Son, if she doesn't behave well, I'll change her immediately." After complaining, even though he was very unhappy, he immediately made a phone call. Asterisk. Chiao Mianmian's live broadcast room is full of excitement. Mo Yesi didn't care whether it was a live broadcast or not. As usual, he first brought a glass of milk to Chiao Mianmian, then cut up the steak in front of him and placed it in front of Chiao Mianmian's table. And Chiao Mianmian was also very accustomed to drinking the milk he handed over first, and then picked up the knife and fork and lowered her head to eat the steak he had cut. The two of them have a very natural and daily way of getting along with each other. A little woman who seems to be used to taking care of those around her. One seems to be used to being taken care of by the man next to him. But the netizens who saw the scene in the live broadcast room were not calm. A large number of comments clamoring to kill dogs continued to appear, and there were also a large number of voices of envy, jealousy, and hatred. Oh my God, the daily life between Mr. Mo and Chiao Mianmian is so sweet and happy. Does Mr. Mo always take care of Chiao Mianmian like this? Even when he eats a steak, he actually cuts it for her and barely feeds it to her mouth. Does a man who is so careful, so considerate, so handsome, so rich, and so dedicated really exist? I feel like I believe in love again. If my boyfriend can take care of me so carefully and tenderly, let me give him a baby football team, I'm willing to do that too. So the theme of this anchor room is the sweet daily life of the boss and his little wife. Chiao Mianmian drank milk and ate the steak that Mo Yesi cut for her. She never had time to spare, so she turned her head and read the comments posted by netizens in the live broadcast room. She has participated in live broadcasts before, so understanding live broadcasts requires interaction between the broadcaster and netizens. Otherwise, if she keeps eating and does not interact with netizens, netizens will find it boring. Strictly speaking, live broadcasting is now one of her jobs. Since it is a job, of course she has to do it well. End of this chapter. I secretly got married to a super boss. Author, Dance Lightly. Chapter 2750. Chapter 2750. I can be such a domineering president. At this moment, the discussion in the live broadcast room is in full swing. When netizens discovered that Xiao Mian, who had just been engrossed in eating, turned her head and looked at the screen, the number of comments that had never stopped flowing in increased rapidly. In just 1 minute, there were thousands of comments. Barrages. Mianbao looks so cute when he eats, his cheeks are bulging like a little puffer fish. I see Mianbao eating with great appetite, and I always feel that her food tastes so delicious. Mianbao, you are so happy. Isn't the steak Mr. Mo cut so delicious? I didn't expect that Mr. Mo, who looks so aloof, can take care of others so carefully and tenderly. Xiao Mian read the comments from netizens. She swallowed the food in her mouth in a few times and was about to reply when a strong hand pressed on her shoulder and then forced her to turn around. The man stuffed another glass of juice into her hand domineeringly and forcefully. Concentrate on eating, don't eat half-heartedly. Then he glanced towards the live broadcast room. He didn't seem to notice the countless Mr. MOS popping up on the screen in an instant. He said lightly, "You all should be quiet. If you have anything to do, please wait for her to finish her meal." Say it again. After finishing speaking, Moyesi stopped caring about the live broadcast room and turned to wait for Xiao Mian to eat. The live broadcast room was filled with howling wolves again. Mr. Mo is so handsome. I can be this kind of domineering president. Mr. Mo really loves Mian so much, I envy the crying bird. Asterisk. After breakfast, Moyesi sent Xiao Mian to City C. The crew has arranged a car here. But because Moyesi had to send Xiao Mian off in person, the car prepared by the crew was of no use. 2 staff members following the filming got into Moyesi's Rolls-Royce. Moyesi didn't ask the driver and drove the car himself. Because I was riding in a boss's car, and I also enjoyed the benefits of having the boss act as my driver, the 2 staff members who were filming with me were in a fearful mood throughout the whole process, and they didn't even dare to take a breath. Xiao Mian got up early today. She would get sleepy easily after eating a full meal, so she fell asleep not long after getting in the car. Moyesi basically had nothing to talk to anyone except Xiao Mian. So along the way, during the 3-hour drive, several people in the car were extremely quiet. No one spoke. Asterisk. 3 hours later, the few people who were silent throughout the whole journey finally arrived in City C. The moment he got off the car, all the netizens who had been watching the live broadcast room heard 2 long gasps. These 2 sighs were like a feeling of relief, a bit like the aftermath of a disaster. Even though netizens cannot see the staff following the photo shoot, they can still feel the tension of the staff during these few hours. At this moment, hearing the gasps of the 2 people, they were both extremely happy. Ha ha ha, I'm laughing so hard. Why do I feel like the staff is afraid of Mr. Mo? I felt it too. The funniest thing was that twice Mr. Mo glanced at them in the rearview mirror, and I felt the lens was shaking. Ha ha ha, yes, the camera really shook twice at that time. I almost died laughing. I don't think it's to blame the staff for being timid. Mr. Mo has such a strong aura. If it were me, I would be nervous and scared. He only becomes gentle when facing Xiao Mian. He's easy to talk to and very indifferent to other people. End of this chapter.